Good morning. So we know that the promises of God are yes and amen. And that's awesome. And we rely on that. But sometimes, well, at least for me, the promises of God are slow in coming. I'm reminded of a story in Genesis chapter 12. It's the story of God speaking to Abram, later who became Abraham. And he says this: leave your native country, your relatives, and your family, and go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. All of the families of the earth will be blessed through you. Isn't that an awesome promise? The problem is that it wasn't for that day. No, in fact, that promise would unfold over years and years of time. Sometimes I liken that to telling a child that, well, you'll go out for ice cream later. That child thinks later is pretty soon, but for you, it may be at dinner time much, much later in the day, or maybe even tomorrow. And we're like that. We're persistent with God. We want to know, well, isn't this happening now? Isn't this going to take place today? The part of Abram's story that really speaks out to me is the part where God says, go into the land that I will show you. The first thing that Abram had to do was get up and go. And sometimes what God is asking us to do is get up and go. Start moving. I remember years ago I said to God in my arrogance that someday I was going to be great for him. And he said, why don't you start today? In other words, get up and start moving. If you're going to be great in the moment. Don't wait to some period later on in life where you'll be great. And the problem is that we want more information. We want to know where we're going and what it's going to look like when we get there. Abram didn't get all that information. He was just told to go into the land that he'd be shown. Start moving, and as you're moving, I will reveal and everything will come to an understanding as you're moving. Well, if you read the story of Abram, his moving wasn't all that God had asked him to do. I think that he took Lot with him, and I don't think that was part of God's initial plan. So I don't know what's going on for you today, but here's the deal. I want you to think about what God is saying to you. And maybe what he's saying is first, go. Don't worry about where you're going to end up, but start moving in a direction. Because once you start moving, then God can change the course. But if you just sit and wait, it's not going to happen. Think about that today, would you? Until next time, God bless.